Hi, here we are again. Start the week 4. This one is has been filmed for the week beginning the 23rd of October 2023, but of course it can be used at any time. And we are continuing our focus on the Lord's Prayer. That's what we call it, isn't it? The Lord's Prayer. So we have come through the beginning bit, and last week we had got as far as hallowed be your name. And we looked at how that was kind of our primary request as we start communicating with God, as we start a prayer. Our honor goes to Him, our respect goes to Him, and that's how we start. So it's our Father, which is identifying both who we are and who He is, and then more identification of who He is by saying, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. So today we come to, in the old language, the old way we say it, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Your kingdom come, Lord. Your will be done. Let us have your will working and functioning and fully expressed in earth as it is in heaven. This is the center point of the prayer, really. It still feels like the beginning in terms of how long the prayer is, but this is kind of the key part of the prayer. You know, we've identified ourselves, who we're talking to, who He is. We want to honor Him. And now this is the biggest prayer we could possibly pray. The best thing we could ever hope for. That's what we're saying here when we say, Your kingdom come. It's like the best wish list ever. You know, when kids write a Christmas list, they generally go something like this. They sort of start, Mum, you know I love you, right? You know that I think you're wonderful and I think you're really generous and good and you want to give me cool things. So for Christmas, I'd really like a computer. And it'll say, you know, at the top of the list, a computer, but then below it'll say a couple of games, some sweets, a kind of silly string, and that the requests kind of get smaller as you go down the list. But the key thing, the big thing, the dream, the thing that we most want, that's the thing that gets listed at the beginning. I really want a computer. And we all know that if the kid that wrote that Christmas list was given a couple of games, some sweets, some silly string, they would pretend to be pleased because those are things that were on their list. And yes, they were things they wanted, but they weren't as important as the computer. The computer is the key gift. It's the big one. It's the thing the kid has been longing for and hoping for, dreaming of for months probably. The computer is this kid's heart's desire. Best thing he can possibly imagine. We should be like that with Your kingdom come. It's the biggest, the best thing we can imagine. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Just the same way, just with the incredible, perfect expression of your will. But let that be the case for us here, because down here, it's not the case. Down here, we're seeing other people's wills. Our own wills taking priority. But your kingdom come, your will be done. See, your kingdom come, it should be our heart's desire that His kingdom comes. Because, of course, His kingdom coming will bring His will being done. When His kingdom rules our hearts, we do His will. When it really rules. We don't always let His kingdom rule every part of our hearts, of course. But when it does, we do His will. So when we're praying this, your kingdom come, your will be done, we're praying it over ourselves. That His will become our will. That we will do His will. But also when we pray, your kingdom come, your will be done, well, we're praying it over the earth, aren't we? And when His kingdom rules on earth, His will be done on earth, just as it is done in heaven. So when we're praying this, we're praying in the rule of Christ over the whole earth. We're praying in that reign of Christ. The Bible says will happen at the end of time. That complete reign of Christ where He will have fully seen authority, fully expressed. His will be done. This is a huge prayer. This is a prayer of submission for ourselves and for our will. You know, it's the prayer that Jesus prayed before the cross in Gethsemane. Nevertheless, not my will, Lord, but yours be done. That's what we're praying in this prayer. A prayer of submission, that our will is submitted to God's will. It's a prayer for now. Your kingdom come now in my life. Your will be done now in my life as it is in heaven. But it's a prayer of hope for the world. It's a prayer for the future. It's praying that God's will be done on earth now, but also in the future. It's an amazing sentence. In one sentence, we pray for ourselves individually and for the whole world. We pray for now and we pray for forever. In one sentence, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What a huge prayer. It's much bigger than a computer. So when we pray, let's focus on the big thing. The other things will follow, and they're important, but they come as a result of his kingdom in our lives and in the world. That's for us to consider next week. We're going to look at the lesser things on the list next week. But this week, let's consciously start our prayers with the awareness that what we need most is that God's kingdom comes in our lives and comes in the world. As we pray over all the situations we're seeing on TV, all the news reports, especially the news reports focused on Israel and the war there, then our prayer is, Lord, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So pray with that intention, with that focus, and have a great week.